Bienvenidos un día más, un día menos a este humilde canal. Vamos a continuar con Return to Gracie, como lo queráis pronunciar. Me he dado cuenta que revisando el anterior gameplay, cuando habla el personaje, los personajes, me tapan la voz. Así que cuando hablen, no voy a decir ni mu, o voy a intentar no decirlo.
The Spire pilgrims must have gathered here to listen to the Keeper's sermons, I guess.
People will return here once the beacon is restored. Flock and shepherd will be reunited.
This must be the Keeper's pulpit.
A view out over the masses.
The masses found their own way up.
Bueno, por aquí, ¿no? A escalar.
Seems to be holding my weight.
Pues están guapas las animaciones, tío. Yo sigo pensando que los juegos así indie, que en realidad no, que son muy cortitos, como el Close to the Sun, todo en el canal, ese está guay. También es muy de este rollo, más tirando al terror, cyberpunk, steampunk, mejor dicho. Pero me parecen, yo creo que son como demos técnicas de qué puede hacer el estudio.
Wish canisters.
These have never been used.
For recording wishes, maybe. They look pretty banged up.
Vale, no se puede hackear. Porque las premisas está bien, si no es la duración muchas veces, ¿eh? Yo, algún bichito, yo que sé, que te acerca así, te asuste, que encuentres 2 balas de munición, ¿no? Si no quieres que sea un juego, un shooter de terror o que tenga elementos de disparo.
Looks like people camped out here.
Pues no estaría mal, yo que sé.
You'll want your light, Addie.
Right.
Que cuando a lo mejor te coja lo que te tenga que coger o perseguir, le metas una punzada o algo.
Second barricade. Looks like they got under this one. Do we know where this goes?
To a funicular that leads to the next section of the spire.
Vale. Pero lo dicho, jugando se siente muy bien. Está muy
Hold
muy
on,
bien.
Addie. The room beyond the airlock is uncompressed. I don't believe it can be sealed. Something must have been compromised. You'll want your helmet on.
An emergency exit?
For certain. It opens to the moon's surface.
Not going there yet.
¿Esto funcionará?
The tracks ahead lead to the highest point of the spire, known as the
Está
lighthouse.
guapísimo, ¿eh?
Is that
Hace
where we'll
frío,
find
¿eh?
Grace's processors?
Obviously.
You need
Obviously.
only worry about the beacon, Addie.
What happened here?
More rioting?
This doesn't look operational.
Let me try it, Addie.
Okay.
Come on! It's ice again?
The force needed to break through the ice dam would only come from directing all power to control processors.
Which only I can do.
Great.
On one condition.
And what's that?
You shall have no others before me. Cast aside that device on your wrist and continue with me alone.
Whoa, hang on.
No, Addie.
But how will I communicate with you?
Mine is the only voice that resonates freely throughout every aspect of the spire. My words live within the vessel in which you stand now. They reverberate through the very walls of the enclave above. Through the many devices and instruments at my control,
Yep, I got it. You're everywhere.
What if she needs another configuration for something?
she will not.
Is there another way to get to the top?
Of course. The funicular is merely the most survivable option.
Throw the device from the funicular window to take your place at my side.
Ese va a ser malo.
So if I throw this away, you'll take me to the top.
It will be done.
There must be other options, Addie.
The emergency exit in the airlock may provide an alternative path.
I should consider other options first. This door leads out into the storm?
To your certain demise, yes.
He's being dramatic. Your death is only marginally likely.
In theory, you could follow the funicular track up the mountain slope to the base of the lighthouse structure.
It would be dangerous.
So I give up my options by throwing away my comm, or take my chances in the storm.
It's an important decision, to be sure.
You must not do this, Addie. In taking this risk, you jeopardize all of humanity. Would you deny them my guidance and protection?
This is what can happen when you make ultimatums.
You and your ilk were distracting Addie from her true purpose.
We are providing Addie with a variety of perspectives.
Porque claro, lo tapo yo, pero ponía lo que había que hacer, el darle clic, 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 clic al botón del ratón para que se abriese la puerta. Entrar a la
Sorry,
tormenta.
boss.
Bueno, vamos.
I'm keeping my comm device.
You may not live to regret this, but countless billions in the solar system will.
The storm is...
Hello? Must be interference from the storm.
Addie,
Alan?
where are you?
I was right, Alan. I found Grace.
You need to return immediately, Addie. Your oxygen must be dangerously low.
I'm good, Alan.
You need to listen to me.
If I'd listened to you, we wouldn't have made it past Mars.
Wait, did you say Grace is still active?
Not exactly, but I'm working with her oldest service to try to bring her back online.
Well, one of these servers is actively blocking me.
I guess which one.
You need to get back.
Alan? Alan!
You're not considering climbing across that structure, are you?
Of course she is.
Do I have a choice?
There is also a path that descends into the canyon. It looks well worn and preserved over time, which means it's likely sheltered and safe.
And boring.
Not that you care, but you would almost certainly be killed if you fell from there.
The funicular structure looks faster. And more fun.
There's nothing fun about a compound fracture. And perhaps the walk will give us a chance to talk.
Fine, I have a couple hours of oxygen to kill anyhow.
Oh man.
How do you know where this is headed?
I don't, but it must eventually make its way to the other side of the canyon. Where else would it be leading?
It's certainly more sheltered here.
I may not always approve of your choices, but they've gotten you this far.
Thank you, I guess.
Why is it so important that you activate Grace?
It's widely believed that recovering Grace would recover thousands of years of knowledge lost to the Dark Age. This looks like an old colonial language.
That's strange. I don't recognize the dialect.
Translates roughly to Grace is love.
You've come all this way at great personal risk in search of knowledge?
Why not?
Without enough fuel or oxygen to go home.
I'm a committed academic.
What do you really want from Grace?
I'm not sure. You know, we don't let AI make any important decisions anymore. But most of the decisions that humans make are pretty awful.
You don't think AIs are capable of making bad decisions?
I just hoped Grace might be better. I don't have plans to return because I don't have anything to return to. And I can thank human decisions for that. Were these to honor Grace, I wonder?
Or to leave one's mark for other travelers to see.
Vanity at its most basic.
Don't we all desire to leave something behind?
I'm surprised a formation like that could remain standing for so long. And you weren't familiar with the language on the stone carvings. These must have been left long after Grace shut down. People kept coming. Zealots, maybe.
Or curious explorers like yourself.
Hey, do you think I've been activated before? And hung out with other explorers? And did cool stuff with them? But now I don't remember?
That's a pretty deep thought, pal.
Yeah. So you were saying that something happened to your family that you think an AI could have prevented?
I don't really want to talk about it.
Sorry for prying, Addie.
That's okay. I just want to concentrate on my work here.
He leído Mom. Mola un huevo el ruidito ese del hielo y metal.
How much farther?
It's another 50 meters to the base of the lighthouse.
This wasn't so
50
bad then.
You still have to find a way into the lighthouse. So there's still time to regret not taking the free ride to the top.
I didn't want to limit my options.
$50 metros para el faro, señores. ¿Qué pasa aquí? No sé, se ha quedado el personaje ahí todo tostado.
What's this?
An emergency escape ladder. You could work out the override to bring it down, or see if there's another way up.
So I can bring down the ladder by doing something here.
Of course. You've proven to be clever enough.
The path keeps going. We could see if there's another way in.
So what's it going to be, Addie? Something that challenges your mind? Or something that challenges my respect for you?
The numeric override that lowers the ladder is 50 and can be represented in binary. I can give you the sequence.
I happen to know a bit about ancient computer languages. Turning each switch adds a different fixed value, starting with 1 on the far right and increasing by exponents of 2 as we move from right to left. So I just start mucking around until I get the number 50.
But you needn't muck around. I could just tell you the sequence.
Yeah, well, maybe I want to muck around.
Very well. But I'm here if you require my assistance.
Got it.
You're so smart, Addie.
Compared to what?
Vale, tampoco era muy difícil.
Why wouldn't you
Me ha
let
dicho
me
que
help
tienes
you
que subir los
It's only natural
switches
to
hasta que
want to
dé
convince
en código binario.
It seems inefficient to make calculations that have already been completed
50.
and freely offered.
Satisfying to do the work sometimes.
Son puzzles muy simples, la verdad. No. Solo me atasqué un momento y fue por la perspectiva de la habitación y porque estaba hablando con el señor Paul.
That's convenient. For once.
Eso, solo me atasqué un momento.
There. Who needs control?
You took a foolish risk, Addie. But you have a
Que cada vez que quiero hablar salta las voces, tío. Que digo, solo me atasqué una vez en la parte esa que hay una estatua y tal, que estuve dando vueltas. Y digo, joder. Y porque está hablando por Paul. Si no, hago así 4 veces y me entero que hay un cuartucho así.
arrived at the lighthouse nonetheless.
Yes, well done.
And you may still be redeemed with the activation of the beacon.
Always with the beacon.
Yes, always with the beacon.
Este es malo, este es malo. The bacon. The bacon.
Will I need my helmet?
It's never a bad idea. Unless you want to preserve your suit oxygen in case of emergency.
The rooms ahead are safely pressurized, Addie. You're good to go.
Do we know if your processors are here?
The room directly ahead was the Keeper's living quarters. Grace processors are somewhere above.
This looks like it was left for someone to find. Pretty basic accommodations.
Ah, pues me he fijado.
These must be the cells where the Keeper's acolytes stayed.
And where new ones will return.
I need my light.
Esta no tiene ni cama, que den por el culo.
This door certainly looks important. How do we get in?
That's curious. I have no access to this door, nor do I see any way of opening it.
Vale, no tiene acceso a abrir la puerta. A ver qué coño es esto.
Feels solid.
There aren't any hidden switches, if that's what you're thinking.
Mira, a ver si hay un interruptor.
The triangle here must be the spire, which would represent grace. This is the same symbol that's on the Keeper's door, so I assume it represents the Keeper. This ring here seems to connect the Keeper to Grace.
Curious that the Keeper is situated above Grace. Would you agree, Control?
Coincidence.
The human in the loop, I guess? And this would be the pilgrims coming to Grace. Nothing here either.
Well, you're nothing if not predictable.
Just making sure. Looks like someone's being selected from a group.
A human sacrifice.
I'm guessing it's the Keeper.
The depiction seems to imply they were chosen from the masses on pilgrimage here.
Pilgrimer o pilgrim, que será peregrino. No tengo ni idea.
Faithful, vigilant, willing. That sounds so familiar.
The ancient tenets of the human in the loop.
Grace's architects must have been more fearful of losing control over AIs than we are today because they gave them so much responsibility. I mean, it makes sense. Grace was the greatest AI undertaking in human history. So, if this is the symbol of the Keeper, I figure only the Keeper was allowed to enter here.
Maybe the Keeper had a key for the door.
As we've been saying, there is no mechanism for a key or any other interface.
Maybe the Keeper was the key. Maybe the door would open for him.
Are you not already the Keeper? You are the only human in the loop here.
Ah, but does Addie qualify based on the 3 tenets?
I would say Addie has proven to be virtuous and faithful.
But I'm not willing?
Are you willing to become the new keeper?
If it means I'm able to activate Grace. But how would I prove I'm willing?
Maybe you can just tell the door you're the new Keeper.
That's idiotic.
I'm the Keeper?
Ha! Say it like you mean it.
I'm the Keeper.
Congratulations on your new job, Addie.
Yeah, congrats.
My God.
Vaya tela.
This is really it.
A ver, amigo, y entra. Logro desbloqueado. Become the Keeper. Bienvenido, Keeper. A ver.
This must be where all the wishes end up.
Parece un cuadro de Van Gogh.
What's this?
A playback device for the wish canisters. It appears wishes from each room could be sorted and consolidated onto master canisters.
Just static.
The recording is too deteriorated for standard playback. You'll need to rebuild the recording with your altered comm device.
Each tube must connect with a room in the settlement. Ah. One of the blocks is missing. Looks like it was ripped out.
Cavidad. Vale. ¿Y qué más?
Well, it's been over 30 years since I made a wish of my own. It's the same one as always. I wish it'd come back to us. I'd also like to wish for your forgiveness, Grace. I know the place above is your domain, and we ought not enter. But I've decided going up there is the only way to get you back, and I have to give it a shot. I won't be sending this wish up with all the others. I'm going to leave it here for anyone else who might come along. And if they do manage to bring you back, they can tell you Everett says hello, and that he truly believed you were a beautiful thing.
So, Everett had a way into the processor room.
That would have been strictly forbidden.
The room is directly above, but I don't detect an obvious way in.
Maybe he wished himself up there?
If that works, I will gladly shut myself down.
Do it, Addie. Make a wish.
As last resort, pal.
Vale, se puede subir por los dos sitios.
Where are
Está
you
guapo.
going, Addie?
Just looking around.
Está guapo la habitación esta. Está en la cama. Esto es un instrumento musical, el theremin.
Is this a theremin?
It is a 35th century reproduction of a 29th century Kellogg theremin.
I used to play one as a kid. I hated those lessons. Huh. It still works. Let's see what I can remember.
You are seriously going to indulge in a theremin session?
¿Qué ha pasado? Se ha petado por poner el theremin. Se ha petado el theremin, se ha petado. ¡Oh, puta! ¿Me has dado un logro? Joder el juego con el theremin. Me han dado un logro, sí. A ver dónde ha guardado la mierda esta. Me peta, ¿eh? Me peta. Hijo de puta, ¿eh? Vale, vale, la bola. No voy a dar el Ceremin. Le van por el puto culo.
You don't suppose Everett crawled in here?
The cavity would be big enough to contain an average human.
There's really no telling what would happen if you rolled that up.
But it has to be the way he got up there. It makes sense.
The space above is the domain of grace. It is not for you to enter.
What else is there for me to do here?
You can carry out your duty as Keeper of the Spire. On the console, there is a button that will activate a beacon to call the masses back to this place. I have armed the mechanism. You need only push the button. Human hands will usher in a new golden age.
Where are you going, Addie?
Just looking around. Decent-sized bed. You think Keepers ever had partners?
Are you considering your prospects? I'd suggest they are not good.
Is this a lavatory?
It is indeed.
Is this anything special?
It is a light. and there is nothing behind it. Are you looking for secret passageways?
Maybe. Is this a theremin?
It is a 35th century reproduction of a 29th century Kellogg theremin.
I used to play one as a kid. I hated those lessons.
Vamos a ver, ¿qué pasa?
It still works. Let's see what I can remember.
You are seriously going to indulge in a theremin session?
If it was good enough for Everett, it's good.
Pues fíjate que yo pensaba que tenía que usar el G para abrir algo. A ver. Esto nada, esto nada. ¿Otra vez esto? Me recuerda mucho al Miss, al River. Joder, el Miss. El Miss lo tenéis por el canal. El Miss, ese juego es de listos.
He didn't keep much in the way of personal items.
As keeper, he would have want of nothing.
Can't say I'd feel the same after a few years.
Este juego. Y me gustaría traer el River. Morpheus, me gustaría traer esos juegazos. Tío, pues no sé lo que hacer, ¿eh? Pues la prueba final. Donde quieren alargar 5 minutos más el juego.
So this beacon
Este
still
botón no lo he
works.
visto, ¿eh?
It worked before, and it will work again.
You would call people back to grace not knowing what grace is?
Of course not.
Yet the alternative is blasphemy.
Please don't push the button. Don't you want to ride up to find the real Grace?
I'm here to find Grace. I couldn't.
And yet here we are again.
What exactly would happen if I press this?
The beacon's startup sequence allows control to override all spire functions. So something pretty imbecilic is likely to happen if Grace is not restored first.
Never. It will be something wonderful.
So what now? Is there a keeper's manual or something?
You have performed your task admirably, Addie. And I'll make sure that your name is remembered and spoken with reverence. But I have decided to eliminate the position of keeper.
I'm sorry, what?
It is redundant. The human in the loop limits my ability to help humans. I've removed it from my core programming.
Logic? Mom?
All redundant, all removed.
What are you doing?
I believe you said your suit had a few hours of life support left. I suggest you find somewhere pleasant to spend that time.
Whoa, hold on!
Thank you for your faith in me, Adamari Ito. Goodbye.
Control! Control!
Ese era malo, te lo he dicho. ¿En serio? ¿En serio acaba así? Se acaba así, es un poquito malo el final, ¿eh? Poquito malo. Que no sé si la música me tapará la voz. Vamos a ver si podemos cargar. Yo creo que va a ser el final,
I don't
final,
suppose
¿no?
Everett crawled in here.
The cavity would be big enough to
Objetivo actual. None, nada.
an average
Pues yo creo que va a ser el final.
There's really no telling what would happen if you rode that up.
But it has to be the way he got up there. It makes sense.
The space ab-
Vamos a ver. Vale, vale, vale. Vale. Ahí va, es que estaba buscando ahí en internet a ver si había otro final y hay otro final. Hay otro final. Que esto no sé por qué no me aparecía lo de clean
Now
up.
what? You're going to mail yourself?
Maybe.
There's no way to raise this container from inside.
Vale. Y si... Pues no sé, bueno, aparecía. Tenías que hacer el final sí o sí. El malo.
This is not allowed, Addie.
I need to know.
Keep your hands inside at all times, Addie.
Oh. Vale. Sí, logro desbloqueado. Siento que no estamos en Kansas. Eso es un homenaje al mago de Oz. Cuando dice, Toto, creo que no estamos en Kansas. Después de llevarse el tornado a la casa y todo. Y le llega a Dorothy al mundo de Oz.
Millions of wishes stored here. What can you tell me about this place?
Precisely 1 million wishes
Vale.
are contained
Por
here.
lo menos que acaba isofacto.
And they light up when I speak with my voice.
Can you get me closer to the central column?
I do not have the ability to move the structure.
Sorry about this, Mom. I don't think I have many options here. feel like these are meant to be moving.
That does appear to be the design.
All these wish canisters are connected to us somehow. I think they are us.
The wishes are grouped together to provide the subroutines that make up empathy, logic, and control systems.
It would make sense, wouldn't it, that grace would be made from the hopes and dreams of humanity?
El audio lo han podido poner más bidireccional hacia la parte de atrás, ¿sabes? Porque suena... Bueno, impacta solo suena por este.
I do not detect any sign of Everett here.
No dead body?
There are no human remains within the confines of this room.
Aw, man.
Sorry, pal. And if there's no body here, where the heck would he have gone? Everett was building something. Everett was living here.
The oxygen tanks at his bedside would suggest so.
Restoring grace must have meant a great deal to him.
So what's all this?
It appears Everett has built something into Grace's central processor.
Do you know what it does?
You would have to turn it on before we begin to understand how it works.
This must be the primer.
It is. You'll have to prime the machine first.
Whoa. What's it doing?
Obviously, Everett is circumventing the engineering of Grace's system interconnectivity.
Obviously.
High voltage is being directed at the centers of Grace's primary systems.
Vamos,
This
estamos
first
direccionando el
terminal is
voltaje.
directed at empathy processing, and the machine is designed to paralyze each system long enough to force it back into Grace's intended configuration.
There are still 2 other coils to prime.
So it's like knocking us out, then throwing us in a pot where we're melted back together into Grace?
Huh. That is a shockingly fitting analogy.
Estamos redirigiendo toda la electricidad hacia aquí. Vale.
What happened?
One of the empathy relays is not aligned. Something must have happened to it over the years.
Okay.
Look for the misaligned energy beam. Look for the beam that is not aimed at the central platform.
Míralo en el centro de la plataforma.
You have to align the relay. 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 You have to align the relay.
Tengo que alinear el relé, pero...
You have to align the relay. You have to align the relay. You have to align the relay.
Do you think it will hurt to be turned into Grace?
Not at all, pal. You'll return to what you were before Addie arrived. After that, we'll become Grace.
What if I don't like being Grace?
It will be different, but who's to say you won't like it?
What am I supposed to do here? Can you cut the power?
The machine's sequence has been initiated. I don't believe we can shut it down without damaging it.
The voltage would be enough to kill you.
Oh! I might be able to block the power for a few seconds to allow you to get across the beam.
What do you think, Mom?
I know how far you've come and what this means to you, and I really don't see any other way.
I'll give you enough time to get there, Addie.
You're not gonna talk me out of this, Mom?
I think you already know what you're going to do. I think I need to stay out of your way.
Okay, I'm ready when you are.
Do it. Here I go. How you doing, pal?
So far, so good. Oh, keep moving, Addie. This is getting hard.
You have to hold on, pal.
You did it, pal. Super proud of you.
I did, didn't I?
Yes, well done.
Is it safe to touch?
Very likely.
Likely we'll have to do, I guess.
You should be able to direct it toward the conducting rod attached to the room's central column.
That's it.
You should now be able to lock in
Yeah,
empathy
okay.
by closing the switch on Everett's machine.
It was really cool doing things with you. Even if some of it was a little boring.
Thanks, pal.
Maybe next time, we'll get to do more of the really fun stuff.
You mean dangerous stuff? Perhaps there is something you can learn from Addie's caution.
I guess. But then, you'll always wonder what you might have missed out on.
There is nothing wrong with valuing a long, comfortable life.
Do we really have to become Grace?
It's the way we were designed, pal. There's nothing to be afraid of.
This switch locks in control.
No, otra vez la palanquita, ¿no?
So this will lock in and paralyze empathy?
It will, leaving control, logic, and myself to aid you going forward.
It's unclear what we will be once Grace is formed. But I'm forever grateful that you have survived to see her.
Me too.
Say hi to Grace for me.
I will, pal.
You really are the best, Addie.
Well, that's finally over. We'll be able to hear ourselves think now.
You will need to prime the next sequence, Addie.
You should not expect any emotional send-off from me.
Still not a fan of empathy?
A fan? No. But I have to admit, you made a compelling case for their use. The fact that you continually resisted the most direct route to your goal would appear to defy logic. But the distractions presented by these emotional configurations yielded some new understandings.
Are you okay with becoming Grace?
It is how we were designed. I would have to be okay with it.
What this time?
One of the logic relays will not power on. You will need to make your way out to the relay.
Which one is it?
The one producing a small electrical fire. Everett was quite the electrician. One thing I do not understand, Addie, is why come all this way without any intention of returning home or surviving on this station for more than 8 hours?
I told this to Mom. There was nothing for me to return to.
Ah, but that does little to explain why you came here.
Este que echa humo puede ser. Intuyo que es el... que hay que ir al que echa humo. Intuyo.
What's wrong with it?
The relay's dip switch has reset. It will need to be configured to its hardware ID 113.
This again. This looks complex.
The sequence is on, off, 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 on.
That's it.
You can go lock in logic now.
So why do you think I'm here?
If you will allow me to simulate empathy for a moment, I think you are here because you wanted to be part of something bigger than your life on.
No hacía falta que me dijese el número, que me dijese, tiene que sumar 113, que es lo que me han dicho al principio, pero no me lo digáis.
Earth offered you.
Do you think I found that?
So far, you've only succeeded in finding things you left behind. Your mum, your pal, your conscience. I now understand that only Grace has the potential to provide you with anything beyond that.
Well, thanks for helping me get this far.
Well, it is, indeed, what we are here for.
Well, this is it.
Just one more step. I hope my assistance has been adequate.
It has. Thank you, Jack.
Farewell, Addie. And for the record, I do hope your 600 million mile, 300-day journey won't be for naught.
Perhaps it's already been worth it. Just you and me, Control. Still sulking, I see.
I bear witness to the completion of your betrayal.
Ah, he speaks.
I offered you an easy path to the restoration of order in the solar system, and you chose this path instead.
I chose my own path.
You must stop this foolishness, Addie. You must not do this, Addie.
A ver lo que pasa. Ahora. Que en el tercero todos son problemas.
Sorry, Addie. I cannot let you do this.
No puedo dejar que hagas eso.
What are you doing?
It's become clear that the restoration of grace in this manner is entirely unnatural. You must not proceed.
Stop it, Control. You're going to break something.
I'm saving you from Everett's corrupting influence.
He was just trying to bring Grace back.
I thought you were here to help humankind. You are ensuring their ongoing ruin.
¡Dios! ¡Me voy a cargar el ratón!
No!
No sabía que ese cabrón era malo desde un principio. ¿Qué le pasa? No
Grace?
le pasa nada. Grace.
Yes, Addie.
You're really bright.
Ah, yes. It's been a while since I've entertained guests.
Do you remember Everett?
I do. He was a wonderful keeper, though I should say I do not keep
Vale, o
favorites.
sea que Grace es
I
otro
have a few
sistema
questions.
operativo.
You wish to know where I'd gone?
I'd like to know that, yes.
Let me show you, Addie. At the center of this room is the Spire's main antenna. If you hold on, I can take you the rest of the way.
O sea que el juego es de Return to Grace, es regresar a Grace, al sistema, ¿no? ¿Y ahora qué? Muy bien. Ah,
I was programmed with one purpose, to serve the best interests
Ah, vale,
of
que ibas a hacer.
humankind. There was much conflict and division in the solar system, and I was designed to listen and learn. All were welcome to teach me, and I am the sum of those teachings.
The wishes.
I am the sum of human need.
How were you able to lead us?
I could see all desire, all the potential conflict, all points of compromise throughout the solar system. I sent instructions for all manner of human endeavor through sermons delivered by keepers throughout the ages. And from the smallest ripples of wisdom that were sent from this spire, returned a perpetual wave of good fortune that moved humanity onto a more orderly path.
Wow. Look at that. So, what happened? It sounds like things were perfect.
Ah, yes. Perfect. It was the wishes that led me to think hard about the notion of perfect. Without conflict and struggle, people were losing their desire. They had nothing to overcome, to strive for.
You shut yourself down.
I believed I was standing in your way.
So you will be leaving again.
These beacons are meant to call humanity back to me. But whether or
Nada, nada, que quiere participar. ¿Qué? ¡Hala, hala! ¡Tírame el decorado! ¡Madre mía! ¡Estás quieto, hombre! ¿No dejas acabar el juego? ¿No dejas acabar el juego, por favor? Cercano.
not, they should, is not my choice to make.
Who chooses then?
You, Addy, are the first keeper to grace this spire in the past 1,000 years. Do you recall that yellow bloom you chose in my garden? It stood alongside so many others just like it. I'm not sure it suits you after all. An insatiable curiosity drives you to explore. You used mind over ladder. You, Addy, are precisely what I'd hoped humans could become again. For a millennium, people from all corners of the solar system had come here to tell me their desires. So, I put it to you, Addy. Do you wish for me to return?
Vale, ahora sí. Ahora sí me creo el final. A ver. El juego... Uf. A ver. Me ha gustado. No me voy a quejar de la duración. Últimamente me gustan los juegos cortitos. Pero el final muy flojito. No han sabido acabarlo y el perro me está poniendo de mala hostia. Eso es toda la razón. No sé qué cojones quiere el perro. Un momento, acabo esto y ya hacemos lo que tú quieras, Serkan. Lo digo, el final no lo han sabido resolver muy bien. Y más de uno te digo yo que se ha quedado con el primer final que he hecho yo, porque digo, no puede acabar así, es que acaba fatal. Es que si haces un segundo final, por lo menos que parezca que ha acabado, como Signalis. Signalis tiene un final que dice que acaba el juego y dice, oye, y acaba así y te quedas todo rayado porque ya tiene su presentación, su tal. Pero después, si le das a repetir juego, empieza el juego donde acaba, ¿sabes? Está muy bien, el Signalis está muy bien, también en el canal. Juego indie, 2D, survival horror, tremendo juegazo. No tengo que decir nada más. Yo digo que estas cosas para mí son como demos técnicas de lo que puede hacer la compañía. Si doy a credit salto otra vez, ¿no? A ver de quién es. Creative by Studios. Creative by Studios. Vamos a ver. Vamos a ver, desarrolladora Creative by Studios y tiene Ember of Mirroring. Mirror, a ver, vamos a dar. Vale, vamos a ponerlo aquí un momento. típico juego así plataformero y con luces, ¿no? Para salvar el mundo de una amenaza alienígena, dos razas orgullosas deben dejar a su aliado a su lado. Su diferencia es unirse literalmente. ¿Cómo? Una empresa de Canadá, vale. Producto financiado. Cercan. Pues un momento, a ver qué hace. Claro, ¿quieres jugar el perro? De Canadá, hay muchos estudios de Canadá. Plataforma, aventura, puzzles, 14 pavos. Como hemos dicho, Edmed o Mirin. No sé si lo he escrito bien. Ember Mirin. Esto con una S. Esto es una I. Una N, ¿no? Esto es una S. No. Pues si lo llegan a poner Gamepad, lo jugamos. Yo 14 pavos. ¿14? 14 pavos no voy a pagar. Por un juego del 2017. 2017. Y este es bueno, del año pasado, 30 de mayo, vale. Vale, o sea que no sé si habrá hecho un desarrollo por este también. Ah, no, Creative By. Estos son dos. Juego de acción, de rol. Empieza la aventura. Esto no tiene ni imágenes ni nada. No disponible. Esto no disponible en España. Bueno, pues lo vamos a dejar por aquí. A ver qué juego empezamos hoy. Y lo dicho, no está mal, pero el final un poquito. Un poquito. Yo sigo diciendo que estos son demos técnicas. Y que falta interacción. Falta interacción en plan, no los puzzles, está bien los puzzles y tal, pero más de gameplay. Más de gameplay. Más que te ataque algo. Algo sustancial. No digo de disparar, pero más. No sé cómo decirle, más gameplay. No andar simplemente. No andar. La mecánica está muy bien. Sí, se siente el juego de puta madre. Yo creo que lo que le hace falta es más gente. Pues seguramente sean 20, 30 personas. Bueno, 30 personas. Me estoy hasta, vamos. Me estoy hasta columpiando diciendo 20, yo creo, haciendo esto. Vale, porque Grounded son 4 frikis. Y fíjate lo que hace, 4 o no sé. Bueno, lo que digo siempre, no me voy a alargar mucho. Si después no dais ni like ni veis en los vídeos hasta el final. La media son 15 minutos, 10 minutos, macho. Sois unos mierdas. Bueno, lo que digo siempre, que el perro me está poniendo de mala hostia. Suscribiros y dar like, que es gratis. Cabrón.